All right, welcome back to another league race. This time we are with FTRL for round number 4 at Canada. Dry race, dry quali. Heading into this one then, I was struggling because any practice I'd done, I was struggling with corner cutting, um, and the balance of the car wasn't quite. I could never find a happy spot. So I ultimately went with this in the end. It's a variation of, I think it's Cliffy's setup. Um, I was finding that I had too much turning and I was getting too many penalties because I was turning in too soon. So I tried to knock down the roll bars. Admittedly, looking at that now, I probably went a little too far on that. Maybe I should have kept it at 7 or 8, but that's what we're working with. So that was the closest thing I found to comfort. Here is my first run. This is a banker, so I waited a little bit till the track was clear because this track is quite short, and I just kept a set of mediums just in case it was raining or something or whatever. An 8-8 banker was something I was fairly satisfied with. I'm not gonna lie, that's not too bad. Second lap, a really bad sector 1, but like really good sector 2 and 3. I felt like so I an 8-6, and I felt there was at least a tenth or two still in here to find. So I put him up to P5. So sadly, on my last run though, that's a bit harsh, but it's invalidated, and that is the end of that. So it was good for P7, but I looked below there. It's like there's Wesker, there's Scuba, there's Merck, and then like, ooh, there's a lot of quick people behind, and my feeling was the race pace wouldn't be as strong. Quick dash to get the strategy sorted, and I put 3.5 laps of fuel or so in. And so we're going to do just 2 softs, medium softs. Here we go then, 5 red lights, and away we go. Styes is just absolutely stood still off the line. Second phase wasn't great. A lot of cars going to get the jump. There goes Zumpy. There's a car on my inside as well. I'm not sure who that was, but they're going to whirl around the outside here. Zumpy's going to be able to seize into the space, and we're going to settle into P7 where we started basically. So we did make a position and lose it one at the same time, but warning there. So I thought, oh great, this is not good. I want my main aim heading into this race was just avoid penalties. That's all I had to do, and I'd take anything else honestly. So heading through then sector 2, not a great start. Like now I'm struggling a little bit now. Trying to use a bit of fuel, trying to use a bit of ERS as well, then heading through turns, I think this is 7 and 8. And then, heading down towards the hairpin, I thought, okay, let me just see if anything's going on. Take my racing line, and kaboom. Spun round at the hairpin, and we'll just wave goodbye to everybody as they go on their merry way. So that actually was not onto the podium, as I thought it was at the time. No damage, thankfully. It was actually Styes who, I don't know how far he launched. It was absolutely mad, but you could forgive me for thinking that was at that moment onto the podium. There goes Mark and Scuba, by the way, so they're some sort of clash. So back up to P16 then. All right, I'm adding this in post because this is great, right? So, anyways, heading down towards the turn, and it's too much. It's too violent. We can't show the rest of that. Oh, and then on the other side, yeah. Oh, sorry, couldn't see that. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Thanks for showing me what I really want to see. Thanks for protecting me. I really appreciate it. And so, but very much kind of now, I've not got track position. Things aren't going well. There goes Styes then. So again, I didn't know that at this time he was. I only found out after the race. Actually, it's actually only when I messaged onto the podium to send him the report for that I found out it actually wasn't him, but Styes. So I thought, okay, then what can I do to make the best out of this then? I was going to go to lap 8, but I thought, okay, let me try and get an undercut then, and maybe we can make up some track position that way. So in reality, my race pace wasn't great, but again, it's hard to judge because a lot of people are in like DRS and such, and I didn't really have that. Nor was L3 catch up because of it, because this place has 3 DRS zones. It's kind of difficult when you don't have DRS and so on. I come out there just behind Merck, who's on the hards. I thought, oh no, this is not what I need to be. But thankfully, the pace difference on the mediums was much better for myself. So we're going to make this move in the end and just clear the car, see where he is, and then slot back in, and then take the corner then for the chicane. So yeah, at this stage, a couple of people coming to the pits. This is all this next phase of race is. It's just passing some people in the pits. So we made up some track position. I think more people actually had wing damage than I maybe expected because, I don't know, it just seemed to clear a few cars after this nicely enough. So onto the podium then came out, and he's just around 1.5 seconds behind. Other cars coming into the pits. as he head on to lap 9, then PB, then 12.5. Not great race pace, to be honest, but lap 11 then. So onto the podium then is caught up now. This is how I handle this phase of the race, right? Because he was behind me for a number of laps. See where he is, 6/10, bit of rich. I have plenty to go. And then once I see that he's catching up like he is right now, so gap is under 5/10, have a quick look back, and then I can use a bit of overtake. So use a little bit of overtake. This isn't the corner you really want to be overtaking into. Certainly not dive bombing into. You need to be alongside them and basically pass them before if you want to make a move down into that chicane. But that's all this was. Again, lap 14, you can see here, Tico's actually made a stop behind an accident somewhere. Again, 5/10, looking back, bit of ERS just to pull away before DRS, and then I can activate it then my rich mixture, and he's got DRS, yes. And again, if I need any little boost to keep me safe, I've got that in reserve. So it's just about managing the ERS really, and just deploying it when I really need it, and then saving when I don't need to use it down that back straight and down this straight as well. Again, he's not really on the back of me. So Wesker then is into the pits, and he's going to follow. I actually didn't realize how close he was until right about now, because I actually didn't see him until that moment right there. So thankfully, I didn't go across onto the left-hand side, because I actually would not have seen him at all. Lap 15, I thought about maybe fighting this, but anyway, he's going to go through a little late, but he did make the corner, so that's fine. And again, yeah, I wasn't really worried so much for him as I was onto the podium, because that's who I was racing really. I know, even though Wesker started behind me, I know his pace is very strong, so I didn't see any point really fighting that too much. So nor am I going to really do much to fight this either. This is Tico on hards. Again, my teammate, little tight for space, and he did move over eventually, but a little bit risky in some parts, but that's okay, we got through. A little bit more concerned this time to stay, because there goes onto the podium. I'm like, please don't do it. He decided to go for the lunge. That could have been disastrous, so I'm going to use his broken run out of that last chicane to try and make a move. Again, City Posh Blues right behind me as well, so I'm going to try and go for the dive here to try and keep this a little bit understeer into him, but in my mind, I believed it was him who had dive bombed me and spun me at turn 1. So I didn't really care if I dive bomb him in a sense. That was just my thinking at the time. There, that lap, City Posh Blue, his pace was unreal. He started on 18th. He's going to fly by. So actually glad he passed me there, because I can actually get DRS myself, and so I can use that to protect me at least for a lap. So, but yeah, plenty of overtaking action, more so just with different people, strategies and etc. So we're doing the 2-stop. These guys are doing some guys are doing the 1, and some guys just on the 2, and they're quicker. But again, I should be about 7 seconds up the road. Now this was a hairy moment there, because I was like, oh shit, this is not good. I've lost the back end there. Speed. Thankfully, the onto the podium wasn't really close, so I could save myself. But I'm getting a little bit lower on ERS then, just under 40%. But horrible entry into that chicane, but thankfully I'm not going to be punished for it, because onto the podium had a tough one himself. Lap 19, there goes Tico again into a wall. See, onto the podium there is quite close as well. 3/10 this time again. I've got enough ERS to fight, so again, I used ERS a little bit longer on this straight, and again, unless he's stupid, he's not going to dive bomb into that corner, so, well, at least not from that distance anyway. So lap 23 then, so Aaron then has come into the pits, and he's made his stop, and he is going to sail on by. That's fine, we're not really racing him today. Again, my competition is behind me, which is onto the podium. I was going to take these lap 25, 26, these mediums. Now, by this stage, these mediums are not great. They're in a very poor state. Onto the podium, then pits, and I was like, if he's going to softs, do I just run my race and then maybe hope that his tires drop off? So I didn't respond then for 2 laps then, and I thought, okay, he might get me, but I'm gonna have better softs towards the end of the race. So luckily for me then, Adam Acko paid a few laps beforehand, so he's actually going to get the undercut here. He's about 3 seconds behind a few laps ago. They both will come out ahead of me, but I'm on softs, and I had a quick check immediately when I came out of the pits. What's Adam's story? What's his tires? 6 lap old. Okay, that's fine. We can definitely exploit those near the end. And he's a penalty of 9 seconds. So good. Now that I know where I stand. So, but however, because he had DRS onto the podium, it made dispatching him a little bit difficult. So when I eventually got up to the DRS of him, there's not, because this is such a power track, your tyre advantage isn't really going to be massive. heading into your overtaking zones to get, so you get better traction. Like, this is your best bet, really. But if you've got DRS, the car in front, that's difficult. And then you're heading into the last chicane, and that's not really an overtaking opportunity unless you're alongside them or ahead of them. Again, see, he's got DRS, and normally I'd be away, so, but I don't want to really run too close, so I elected not to use overtake. All I'm doing at this stage is watching this unfold in front of me, hoping maybe something kicks off, but also just trying to just pick every breaking point and hope that I don't get another penalty, because I'm one away now from a penalty now, a warning. Lap 32, again, he's got the DRS. He's a bit more overtake this time around. I then don't deploy it. And then again, I could have made things awkward and difficult, but I'm not an idiot, so I'm not going to make a dive down there. And even though the overspeed was there, I'm not stupid. So this time, however, he does not have DRS. Lap 33, those tires now begin to fall away from him. And now we're going to make this move, and he doesn't fight this too much himself. So a bit of patience on that one, but I would like to have got to earlier. I didn't really get to make the most out of these softs I wish I had. Now, look, don't get me wrong. My pace wasn't stellar to begin with. I do believe Adam is quicker than me. But now it's lap 34 and 1 second behind onto the podium. Oops, did I not cut that? Oh, well. Lap 35, final lap of the race. Dutch Tricks has won the race. And now, see, onto the podium is caught. I'm not even within DRS, but now onto the podium is caught Lennon then in front of him. So now I did know at this stage he had 12 seconds of pen. So at this stage, there's a couple of cars in front. We're in P12. This is where we're going to finish on track. I have no penalties. I've fought hard for this right. So now it is time for me to reap the reward. So onto the podium then gets by Lennon. That is for P10. We then, again, just trying to pick this break. So don't cut it. Thankfully, no cuts. And now, what's it going to be? How many positions are we going to make up? Boom. 3.
Very nice.
P9. And I am content with that, with my poor race pace and then losing 7 odd seconds on lap 1. So had I not been spun and had those 7 seconds back, who knows what could have been possible. I think, at least a top 7, top 6. Yeah. Obviously, Scuba could say the same thing for his incident as well. He did very well to recover to P7. So, yeah, I mean, a recovery drive I'm fairly satisfied with. So I did everything I wanted to do today with the penalties. That's all I wanted to do. I would happily take anything else, within reason, of course. But the no penalties was what I really, really wanted. So to have come in and achieve that, I'm very satisfied with. So here's the standings then. So still P6 after a difficult race, all things considered, but not a bad one all the same after being spun. So, and Racing Point is still top on 95 points ahead of Williams at 88. So that's not too bad. Again, I'm being 3-0'd in my qualifying battle. Again, I don't expect that to really change at all. But anyways, that's going to do it for round number 4 of FTRL. Next up is Monaco. Oh, I can't wait. It's been a long time since I've done Monaco in a league race, and I love the challenge. So I'm really looking forward to this, which means, of course, I'll end up on a wall somewhere. That's how this goes. Until next time.